Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Now, it is Thursday, so we do talk semiconductor stocks, but tonight's presentation, we will go into some semiconductors as long as they appear in the searches I have for you this evening. That's right. We're going to spend some time in Unisearch, and we're going to combine two attributes that we talk about a lot on this channel. That's going to be our valuation, what we currently feel a stock is worth, along with the star search graph layout. So if you're looking for stocks that meet these requirements, and instead of having to go through chart after chart after chart, let the VectorVest 7 system do the work for you. Now, if you're new or if you've been a subscriber for a long time, like I said, I'm going to spend some time into Unisearch. So if you want to learn more about Unisearch, be more efficient, and how to best utilize this feature to find great stock picks, stick around and let's get started. Now, the stock you see right behind me, that's the reason for tonight's video. We all know about SMCI, the Hindenburg report, and the stock was at almost $1,000, just a little over actually at one point. Now it's trading at $447. So the big question is, when is a good time to be bottom fishing SMCI? Right now, the graph layout I have looks at the 20-day, 3 and 8-day exponential or EMA moving averages. Now, that being said, you can see the crossover starting to occur between the 3 and 8, but price action still below the 20-day EMA. Now, you see this line here representing where the 20-day EMA sits at, and that's currently at 472. But I'm going to switch it to the star search layout. And if we keep in mind this line here at 473, we can see that's where the 20-day EMA currently stood at. Now, as far as the star search, right, we're looking at two Bollinger bands with different deviations, deviation 1 and another deviation of 3 from the mean. That gives us these lines here. The yellow lines represent the standard deviation of 1. The white lines represent the third standard deviation. Now, that being said, this is a very easy strategy. With price action in the middle lane right now, this is showing indecision or very little momentum in either direction. Now, the goal is here as far as any kind of bullish strategy, you want price action above the top yellow line, getting into what we call the fast lane. If I scroll this back, you can see here's a perfect example of price action in the fast lane, momentum to the upside. However, once it got into the middle lane here, we see some indecision in price action. And once it got into the slow lane or the bearish lane here, this strategy can work to the adverse effect here. You see price action hugging on this lower Bollinger band, finally reaching price below $500. Now, we can clearly see SMCI does not meet the requirements for star search, so it will not be in tonight's video. Again, have some patience. Let the trade come for you. If you're already in SMCI, if it were to surpass this prior low here, that would be the time I'd start getting defensive in that bottom fishing purchase that you may have had. Now, that being said, we're going to spend some time in Unisearch, utilizing Unisearch to find stocks that meet the star search criteria. And on top of that, we're going to add some additional parameters to find exactly what we're looking for. We're going to start off in the Unisearch part of the program. As I scroll down the list, you'll see I've opened up the Pro Trader folder. You'll only be able to see this if you have the Pro Trader add-on in the VectorVest 7 software. Down below, you'll see the star search layout here. These are all the parameters from left to right, breaking down the requirements needed for stocks to enter the search. You see DPO would have to cross into positive territory, the 20-day DPO, as well the Bollinger band would have to cross above the upper band in the last 2 days, giving us a scenario where a stock would be entering the fast lane and a momentum trade would be a feasible option. Now, that being said, I'm going to add some things to this. That's where it gets really, educational when it comes to the Unisearch part of the program. If you've never customized a Unisearch, essentially you'll just start with the white boxes here. Select time of search. You'll see many choices here. We do have some training videos. Glenn does the training videos on Unisearch. They're within the program under the training tab. So definitely check those out if you want to get more into the Unisearch part of the program. That being said, I'm going to filter this by industry group. I'm going to show you two strategies utilizing this type of search here. The first one, we're going to use it for semiconductors, because a lot of the semiconductors have been beaten up over the last, really a couple weeks now, especially NVIDIA and SMCI. So if you're trying to do some bottom fishing with semiconductors, running this search here would be a great benefit to have. Now, you can see we got 3 stocks in the list here. Now, the other thing that I wanted to add to the search, up here, I call this the special sauce, essentially. Other than the parameters for the stock criteria, how are the stocks actually in order? Which stocks are coming to the top of the list? Which stocks are we taking a look at, right? Right now, you can see that's by default VST descending. I'm going to change this to value divided by price. And when I run search, it'll automatically put the most undervalued stocks at the top of the list. If we take a look at value divided by price, because all of the ratings are below 1 right now, all of these 3 stocks are currently overvalued. Now, the strategy here is looking for undervalued stocks that would meet this requirement if you're going to take a more conservative approach. Otherwise, just looking at the list here, we got TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, very popular stock, one of the leaders in the AI race. We can see stock is slightly overvalued. The other two greatly overvalued, but Taiwan Semi is the closest right now to the valuation. And since it's within 10%, we do consider the stock fairly valued. The stock does have a buy rating. RT just crossed above 1.02 rating. So this is an easy way to find stocks that were in a downtrend, but are now starting to turn around as the market does, right? So let's take a look at the Taiwan Semiconductor graph here. We can see if we zoom into a 3-month time span, price action just crossed above into the fast lane. We see some buying pressure here at the bottom wick. Along with that, the bulls do have control right now, full-bodied candlestick to the upside, currently trading at $176. So we talk about, Star Search quite a bit on the live streams here, me and Glenn, but I really just wanted to show you how you can, use Unisearch and the Star Search program together, right? So this way, instead of having to, put up a bunch of stocks and see if they qualify for the Star Search requirements, you can do an item such as this. Now, Unisearch is a very powerful tool, so we can actually filter it by different items. And you'll notice here, watch list. So if you are interested in a group of stocks, also looking for momentum plays utilizing Star Search, essentially, you would just filter it out by that watch list, run the search, and it'll let you know right away if any of the stocks meet the requirement. Now, today's example, I'm not going to give you a personal watch list, but other than just, stocks that you might be interested in, you can tailor the stocks. You saw clearly you can do it through industry, sector, or in this scenario that I'm going to give you now, if I use special watch list here, we are going to filter it by the NASDAQ 100. Now, in last night's video, I talked about the Russell 2000 showing momentum to the upside, and it still is today. We saw that all major indices are up today, but the NASDAQ 100 is moving quite a bit. So I wanted to run the search and see if any stock candidates come in the list. Now, we see the results here. We got Baker Hughes, Qualcomm, Intuit, and Cadence Design. So let's graph the stocks here. We notice that the top two were undervalued. If I add valuation, go to add parameter, capital appreciation, value, check it off. This is a perfect example here. We see value on the rise over the last year, the stock becoming more and more undervalued, and price action, look today, gapped up, full body candlestick. Let's zoom in here so you can see exactly how easy it is to utilize the Star Search and the ability for it to give you great winning trades. Now let's continue to scroll down here. The only other one that really met the requirements here, finding undervalued stocks that had just entered the fast lane, which would be Qualcomm. We see price action just cross above that fast lane here. And look at the valuation. Value is still on the rise, creating divergence between value and price, which is always something I like to have in my favor. All right, VV Nation, now I hope you found this video informative to really, dive in the program and really see the power of the VectorVest 7 software. Just running 2 searches, and again, the whole concept and premise behind these searches was to find undervalued stocks that just crossed in the fast lane when it comes to the Star Search graph layout. Now, that being said, the first Star Search that we ran only found overvalued stocks. We saw Taiwan Semiconductor slightly overvalued, but we saw that the momentum is to the upside. So that one, if you want to get into it, not mad at it. I'm seeing green lights in the price column of the color guard right now, but we ran the search the second time, filtering it by the NASDAQ 100. We saw a great opportunity being Qualcomm. The stock is undervalued, and it currently has the momentum to the upside with the Star Search confirming. Now, if you found the video informative, or if you even have questions about Unisearch, please don't hesitate to contact us as well. Like I said, there's a great resource on the training tab that has videos on how to dive deeper into the Unisearch part of the program. As always, it's been a pleasure giving you tonight's presentation. If you found this video informative and you like the content here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week. Take care.
You guys have wanted it, and we're responding. You wanted an extension to the end of summer education sale, and we're giving it to you. This sale now is extended up to September 30th of 2024. That's right, up to 70% off on some of the courses that we offer. And you know something? Nobody ever is going to invest your money like you do. It's important that you get the best education possible. We've got bottom fishing courses. We have technical courses like Trade Like a Pro, Options Jumpstart, and knowing when to sell. And guess what, folks? There's another caveat. It's 100% money back guarantee. That's right, folks. Go to www.vectorvest.com/sale to take advantage of some of these courses. And there's an all-access passage you can do for the best value. www.vectorvest.com/sale, extended up until September 30th. Hope you take advantage of it.